again!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show today, Shakib Al-Hasan, the former Bangladesh captain, is fighting a legal battle, one that finds him on an FIR with murder charges. Even as he continues to find support within the team, there was a call to ban the all-rounder from all formats of international cricket till the proceeding was on. But what does the BCB, the board, say? What's the predicament that one of the most mercurial cricketers in the world faces today? But nothing mercurial about the performance of the Portuguese football star Cristiano Ronaldo. The 39-year-old has shut all rumours of hanging up his boots just yet, despite the Euros exit. Will his fans witness the superstar in the World Cup in 2026? We'll tell you more. And speaking of icons aging like fine wine, how can one not mention LeBron James? After a historic Olympic gold at Paris, the basketball star is scripting another chapter as he gets ready to pair up with his son Bronny for the Lakers. But there are a few conditions that Bronny will have to abide by, including what he has to call his father while on court. But first, a look at the headlines. Starting with cricket, BCCI Secretary Shah has been appointed chairman of the International Cricket Council, or the ICC. Shah's election was uncontested, meaning he was the only nominee for the role. Current ICC chairman Greg Barclay will step down in November. Shah has said he will focus on growing cricket's global presence. Over in tennis, Britain's Dan Evans has broken the record for the longest US Open match. Evans' first-round match against Karen Khachanov lasted 5 hours and 35 minutes before the Brit won the game match 6-7, 7-6, 7-6, 4-6, 6-4. The previous record at the US Open was held by Stefan Edberg and Michael Chang in 1992. That match lasted 5 hours and 26 minutes. Over in football, Harry Kane was awarded the Golden Shoe for being the top goal scorer in Europe. He scored 36 goals in the Bundesliga last season, topping all European leagues. Kane is the third Bayern Munich player to win the Golden Shoe, following Gerd Müller and Robert Lewandowski. This is the first time Kane has won the award. Over in Indian football, Mohun Bagan supporters continue to demand justice for Kolkata's rape and murder victim. In support of the trainee doctor, fans unfolded tifos during the Durand Cup semi-final against Bengaluru FC, a game that Mohun Bagan won on penalties. And 27-year-old Uruguayan footballer Juan Izquierdo passed away after he collapsed mid-match in Brazil's Sao Paulo due to irregular heartbeat. This happened a week ago during a Copa Libertadores match against Sao Paulo. The Uruguayan failed to recover despite undergoing treatment. Club Nacional expressed profound grief over Izquierdo's death. Bangladesh's angry young man is fighting a legal battle. Shakib Al-Hasan, the former Bangladesh cricket captain, has been named in an FIR along with 146 others during the unrest in the country. This resulted in the Prime Minister then, Sheikh Hasina, her government being toppled. The same Sheikh Hasina and her Awami League that Shakib stood by during the elections some months ago and won a seat for too. Now, while the case itself is not entirely unusual, finding a current playing cricketer and a very big name in it sure is. When Pakistan can use AI to pick teams, I guess Bangladesh's top all-rounder can find himself in a murder charge sheet. In fact, it also went on to the extent of the Supreme Court lawyers suggesting that Shakib Al-Hasan be banned from all formats in international cricket. But the BCB, the Bangladesh Cricket Board, that just lost hosting rights of the Women's T20 World Cup scheduled to take place in October, thanks to the student uprising and the political upheaval, do not wish to lose their biggest cricketer too. So BCB has announced that they stand by Shakib Al-Hasan and that he will continue to feature for Bangladesh cricket till the time there is a ruling or that he is found guilty.
Right now the FIR is filed and it's in the initial stage, and there are a lot of steps after this. And until he's proven guilty, we'll make him play. The Bangladesh team will go to India after the Pakistan series, and we want him in that series as well. He's our contracted player, and if necessary, we will give him legal assistance.
In fact, this win over Pakistan recently in the first test away, the first time this country has beaten Pakistan in tests, was the perfect response to everything that has been going on in the backdrop. And players, including the captain himself, Bangladesh, paid tribute to their biggest leader, Shakib Al-Hasan, for this win, especially when he's been skirting around this format, having to juggle T20 cricket and, of course, his political ambitions.
He's been raising the name of Bangladesh in the world for 17 long years. Such a case against Shakib is unexpected. In the new Bangladesh, we all want to see something new. I hope all the darkness will pass off and new light will come.
Now, we all know Shakib has been quite the character. Bangladesh cricket is richer and ironically gets into that many more headaches and troubles too with his presence. The angry young man, Avatar, has been one that Shakib has not shied away from. Whether it's on or off the field, right to the moment he got fined for intentionally throwing the ball at Pakistan batter Rizwan, something he got penalised for just some days ago. And he's also been at the centre of quite the storm, especially at Angelo Matthews' timed out call that Shakib took during the ODI World Cup that has had its repercussions not only on the world of cricket, that of course, but also on both the teams, fueling the animosity. Yet he's never once gone back on anything he's ever said or done, has Shakib Al-Hasan. He stood by all of this and his temperamental side. So yes, seeing him in an FIR for murder, even though he was not present in the country during the riots and with more than 100 others, including Sheikh Hasina herself, being included, is rather ironical. But just like how he's always risen like the phoenix post every episode, many that he himself created, through his mercurial modes, and despite it, looks like Shakib will come out of this one too unscathed. Now it's a new season, but the very same old Cristiano Ronaldo. Something fans witness every single year now for over 2 decades. The Portuguese may not have the same speed or agility of his 20-year-old self, but with experience and the hunger to continue performing at his very best, he looks more threatening, at least as threatening, if not more. During Al Nassr's 4-1 victory over Al Faiha yesterday, Ronaldo scored another goal. In 4 matches this season, Ronaldo has now taken his goals tally to 4. And if history has taught us anything to go by, it's that Ronaldo is only just warming up, and that there is a lot more in store as the season goes on. But every good thing comes to an end. And that is why the question of Ronaldo's retirement continues to crop up every other time, because it is inevitable. And even after Portugal crashed out of the Euros this year, pundits thought they have probably seen the last of Ronaldo, at least on the international stage. Just recently too, when Ronaldo launched his YouTube channel, which is speedily nearing the 50 million subscriber mark in less than a week, many thought of it and saw it as a move of Ronaldo planning his post-football phase. But just yesterday, Ronaldo put all those rumours to rest.
I don't know if I will retire soon, in 2 or 3 years, but probably I will retire here at Al Nassr. I'm very happy at this club. I feel good in this country too. I'm happy to play in Saudi Arabia and I want to continue.
2-3 years is a long time, and that means a lot of Cristiano Ronaldo on the football pitch. And as he says, a continued stint at Al Nassr. When Ronaldo started his spell at Al Nassr in 2023, he played less than half of the season and scored 14 goals with a couple of assists. And in his first full season, later last year, he scored 44 goals and assisted 13 times. And for argument's sake, while Saudi may not be as competitive a league as the one in Europe, with quality players coming in, experienced players featuring for big clubs there, Ronaldo gets the leverage to compete with the best in a comparatively relaxed environment. So a win-win for Ronaldo, especially at the phase that he's in currently. While Ronaldo's club career is still intact, what about his international one? Ronaldo and Portugal have had a poor outing in the European competition. Ronaldo failed to score in 5 matches, so is he considering retirement from the international stage at least? Maybe not yet.
When I leave the national team, I won't tell anyone beforehand and it will be a very spontaneous decision on my part, but also a well thought out one. Right now, what I want most is to help the national team in its upcoming matches. We have the Nations League coming up soon and I would really like to play there.
Now, while Ronaldo hasn't confirmed his decision to play the 2026 World Cup, it's highly unlikely that this superstar will call it quits before the mega tournament. Because time and again, Ronaldo has spoken about winning the World Cup, his biggest ambition, especially after the heartbreaking loss in the 2022 World Cup, where Ronaldo was left in tears. His dream to take Portugal to World Cup victory was dashed for the 5th time. And with Ronaldo confirming that he will play for another 2 or 3 years, it sure looks like Ronaldo is gunning for a 6th World Cup appearance. Because while most footballers can call time on their international careers first and then their club careers, Ronaldo is unlikely to follow the norm. We just saw Ike Gundogan and Manuel Neuer announce retirement from international football, but they continue to play club. Unlike club football, international tournaments usually happen after long gaps, the biggest one, of course, being 4 years for the World Cup. But given Ronaldo's winning mentality, one thing is certain. If he's fit enough to represent Al Nassr, he will continue to be available for Portugal too. And with the World Cup just 21 months away, Ronaldo has unfinished business there. That to lay his hands on the biggest trophy. And the fighter that we know Ronaldo to be, he will push for one last ride to try and complete his childhood dream and script something historic for Portugal. In fact, Ronaldo, as we know, is someone for whom hunger is always an insatiable aspect. He's someone who's always tried to beat his own performances every single time. So seeing him on the world stage will be something that all his fans really will be hoping for, and that's something that we are counting on too. Now, we often hear people say sky is the limit when it comes to achieving anything, but it definitely feels like age isn't a roadblock for legends of the game. Basketball icon LeBron James is nearing 40, yet he continues to prove his merit at the biggest stage. He recently won his 3rd Olympic gold at the Paris Games. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers forward is set for another historic milestone. LeBron James is set to take center stage alongside his son Bronny in becoming the first father-son duo on the same team when the LA Lakers kickstart their season in the coming weeks. But there are a few conditions that Bronny will have to follow, like what to call James Sr. According to a podcast that we heard recently, one phrase is particularly off the books. Father James, though, has a few suggestions for Bronny. Take a look.
The world of NBA has seen the brilliance of LeBron James for over 2 decades now. But even before LeBron could hang up his boots, there is a new James in town. LeBron's son, Bronny James. The younger James signed a 4-year contract with Los Angeles Lakers worth $7.9 million. And the senior James too will be with the Lakers right up till 2026. This after the Lakers convinced LeBron to stay on at the club with a $104 million contract, one that he just couldn't refuse. And I guess it was a sweetened deal, with the prospect of playing alongside his son. So when the new season gets underway, history will be made, with the first father-son duo taking the court for the first time. Now this is a historic achievement for anyone out there, because we have seen father-son duos play in the NBA across generations of the clubs, but never together. Steph Curry made his debut 7 years after his father Del Curry quit NBA. Joe Bryant saw his son Kobe Bryant make his debut after he called time on his career. So for Bronny, this is a massive flex, to be playing alongside his father, who also happens to be a legend. No biggie though, and you would think this would be just like playing in the backyard, only it's for the Lakers. Bronny, who traditionally plays as a point guard, will be thinking he just has to build play for his father LeBron, who is a power forward, and just pass the ball and shout "Dad" to score. Like the old school backyard basketball. So no real changes there, right? Well, you would be wrong. It won't be the same for the 19-year-old. Because senior James has already put down some rules. This even before the two have taken their first steps on court together. The first big rule is he just cannot use the word dad. As said by LeBron James in an episode of the podcast The Shop.
Once we leave out of the private facility and the gates close, I could be dad again. In the car, if we ride together. At home, I could be dad. No, he got to call me like 2-3 or Brian. Or, GOAT if he wants to. That's up to him. We cannot be running down the court. And he'd be like, Dad, push the ball up. Dad, I'm open. Dad, come on.
The senior James wants Bronny to show him some respect like the rest of the team does. So if you thought Bronny was going to get special treatment, well, you're wrong. Clearly, the Olympic gold medalist doesn't think that way. Maybe it's LeBron's way of telling Bronny that, son, this is not backyard basketball, nor is it a high school tournament, it's the big league now, where there is no dad, just the big James and his legacy. And just like him, Bronny will have to work hard to get even half as successful. With the season still some weeks away, the basketball legend has already started preparing Bronny for the international stage. The senior James may have candidly asked his son to not call him dad, but in doing so he has given Bronny a key lesson, one that will be useful when he faces the likes of Steph Curry, Luka Doncic and Kevin Durant. And while he will continue to back his boy on court, he will do so in stealth mode. But hey, it works out pretty well when your father happens to be the GOAT.
Time for Last Serve. Who doesn't love a good session of surfing? Now for us, the spectators, it's a visual treat to watch some of the best in the world riding the waves with such effortless ease and skill. But picture the same being performed by dogs. The annual surfathon for pups. Take a look. That wraps up First Sports here for us. Do take care, and of course, I'll see you as always tomorrow.